The diversity visa lottery results are almost around the corner. Two important questions, and these have been a very frequently asked question when the result time is near or people are trying to find out the results. Number one question is, how many times can I check the DV lottery results? That is the first question. How many times can I go and check the diversity visa lottery, whether it's DV 2021 or in this particular case, DV 2022 result, check the results? How many times? If I check first, second, third, whatever, is there any problem? That's the first question. The second question is there any second selection? If I check the results today, the results are out, and I find out I haven't won the DV lottery results, if I come maybe 2 months later, will I be able to win the DV lottery results after the results are out? In other words, is there any second selection? So this video is going to answer those two important questions. Welcome everyone. You are here on the EBM Scholars channel. We are focusing a lot of videos, especially during this time, because we are waiting for the results. So people have been asking so many questions. That's why I'm making all these videos. But also we are making videos about scholarships. We are making videos about writing books and publishing them online. We are making videos about how you can apply for jobs, tourist visas, succeeding in America, business, employment, and so many other things you're going to be able to do. So let me start into two things. This is the page where you'll be able to check the results, and I have highlighted that important part for a particular reason. Number one, they say these are the following things. Let me read the entire thing, then I'll go to the highlighted part. It says it says 2022 entrance status check. The DV 2022 entrants may enter their confirmation information through the link below. The link you check here, status. Link below, starting at noon, which is Eastern Daylight Time, New York East Coast Time, on May 8, 2021. This is the most interesting part. The DV 2022 registration period opens, which opened already. It was October 2020, October 7th, until November 10th, 2020. So that is, they just want to remind you when was the application time. So this is the last important part of this particular sentence. The DV 2022 entrants should keep their confirmation number until at the end of September 30th, 2022. The question to ask yourself, why do they tell you to keep the confirmation number up to this time? People are thinking, oh, maybe because they want us if there will be second selection. So that is the first one. Another thing is on the confirmation number. So I'm using the example of confirmation number of 2021 for my sister. So which is the same way like 2022, the difference will be the confirmation number. Your entry for the DV 2021, so to be for 2022 visa program, was received the day you applied that way. So they tell you to print the page, and then they put the confirmation number, your name, all this information. This is what they say. Thank you for your entry for the DV, for the 2021 DV visa lottery. Please either print this page or make a record of the confirmation number before closing this window. You will not be able to retrieve this number after you close the window. You can retrieve the number when the results are out. If you lose this one, you can be able to retrieve when the results are out. But before the results, you cannot be able to retrieve. So I have highlighted this one. Let me zoom even to be bigger. They say you must retain the confirmation number in order to check your entry status via entrance status check, which is the DV lottery website. So here it will be between May 8th, the day the results are out, and September 30th, it will be 2022. So that's why you can be able, they tell you here, keep your confirmation number until September 30th, because that is the end of the fiscal year. To determine whether your entry was selected for the further processing, it will be for the DV 2022 diversity visa lottery. you will be required to enter your confirmation number in combination with other personal information in order to check your status. You will be supposed to confirmation number, last name, and year of birth. So there is a confusion for many people when you are told that keep this number until September 30th. Keep this number until September 30th, meaning people are asking, so will I be able to check the results? And they tell you, you can be able to check the results at any time until September 30th. You can check the results anytime. First of all, you have to know when we're talking about DV 2022, it means the end of the fiscal year 2022 ends. The fiscal year starts on October 1st, 2021 to September 30th. That is the end of the fiscal year 2022. So that means you cannot be able to check the results after September. If you come to October 1st and you are the V 2022 you applicant, you'll not be able to access or to check the results. I will show the example, and then I will come to remind you a few things. So you click here, check the results. So they go back to give the information that to check the results will be to be 2022 applicants will remain open until that particular year, whatever, all this kind of information. Please be sure to have your entrance information, last name, year of birth, all this kind of information. Then click continue. If you click continue, you have to put this, you have to put the confirmation number. So let's put the confirmation number, and I will go and show you what does that mean. So here, if you are DV 2022, you see it say DV, it say 2021, and then there will be these numbers, and then it will be all 2022 XXX until 16 numbers. So let's put this one, the confirmation number, and last name is Makulilo. And year of birth for my sister was 87. And then let's see, and then I will go to check to tell you what other information do they tell you, whether they show the secondary selection or not. So this is what they say. Based on the information provided, your entry has not been selected for further processing at this time. Many people, they think that, oh, they say that it is not processed at this time. Meaning, if I come next week, if I come next month, I will be able to check the results, and maybe possible I'll be able to win. They come again to confuse you. Please verify that you have entered all the information correctly. You may recheck the entry status by checking on the link below, whatever. If you can go click here, you can click. If you click here, to take you back to the put. You may recheck. They tell you can recheck the status, but rechecking the status, they want just to confirm for you, you put the correct information. That means it says you have not, your entry has not been selected, or your entry has been selected. Does that make sense? There is no secondary selection. And I'm going to show you that there is no secondary selection. Let's go to the okay, I want just to go to the, I want to show you some statistics, just quick one. You can be, so that you can be able to understand. So if you go, for instance, let's say, I'm giving an example. This is the number of people who applied, not the number of winners. You'll see a lot of people who applied. You can be able to check each year how many people applied for the DV lottery. So you can be able to see how many people applied, for instance, in Africa, how many people applied in other countries. So forget about the derivatives. We are talking about the main applicants. So for the DV 2021, the main applicants, how many were there? They tell you the main applicant, for instance, Algeria, it was this number. Angola was that number. So you can go scroll down. So Africa alone, the number of main win applicants, principal applicant, was 3.1 million. Obviously, the country like Ghana has more, the countries with high number of people who are applicant. There's DRC, Congo. This is the Congo Kinshasa, the DRC. Then you will see there is Equatorial. What is this one? There is Egypt. Egypt usually has more winners. Then there is Ethiopia. Another million is Ethiopia. So no, this is total. Sorry. But you can be able to see there are so many applicants. Usually they are from Ghana. There are people from all, yeah. So that is many applicants. So you can be able to see how many applicants are applying and how do they determine the winners. Then if you go to the, for instance, I'm giving an example. Let's go to the statistics for the number of winners. Let's say you want to see the V winners, for instance. They will tell you how many people have won each particular country in that particular way. Like, okay, this is the DV, which DV year? They will tell you this was DV 2018. How many people were selected? So they will tell you how many people applied in that particular year. DV 2021, there were 133,000 applicants. For instance, like, I mean, the winners. For instance, this year there are 125,000 winners. So it depends in which year, but they take more winners. So there is no reason why should they keep for the second, what we call the second selection. So if you check the results on May 8, you haven't won. Even if you check it the next day, you can check another time just to be sure. But if you check it the next day, 2 weeks later, the results don't change. If you haven't won, you haven't won. If you have won, you have won. And if you have won, you will be able to see this letter. You can be able to download this letter, which this letter will have address here, Elena somebody with address and your case number, and at the bottom will be having also a case number, and the press will be able to do your interview. So how many times can you be able to check? You can check as many times as you want, but the results for the DV lottery don't change. Even if they say at this time, don't get confused by the word at this time. Or you may recheck. You may recheck as many times as you want, but the first time you check the results, your entry has not been selected. It doesn't change. So that is about the DV lottery results, especially we're talking about the DV 2022 coming up. So be ready for the results, and I believe we'll be having a lot of winners from members of the EBM Scholars channel. Let's share the good news with others, and if you want me to interview you as the winner, I'll be happy to interview you. You can share your excitement and what you are going through for the DV lottery and the other processes. So thank you so much, each and everyone, for your big support of my EBM Scholars channel. Remember to subscribe in case you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. Goodbye, everyone. Until next